Welcome to the Fermented Homestead. If you're new here, my name is Anna, and on this channel, I'm sharing our journey of learning how to turn our home into a homestead. Today, I am getting ready to go to HOA. I have a ton of stuff around the homestead that I need to wrap up. Big part of it is I need to pick a bunch of the tomatoes that are ready or close to being ready. I need to top all the tomatoes. I need to pack everything. I need to wrap up for some ferments, I need to package up a lot of my ferments to get them ready for like a long-term, me not being there. Not long-term, but you know what I'm saying. I have many daily ferments that I will show you guys how I'm going to actually package up for me to be gone for more than a few days. And then I got to go to town. I need to pick up some chicken feed. You know, just all the things I need to just wrap up. And I figured I would bring you along and share with you how I'm leaving the homestead for a little while. It's just me, so my husband and my son will be here to tend to the animals, so that's not a big issue. But I'm gonna pick some tomatoes, and then yeah, that's about it. Alright, so this area is pretty much wrapped up. I got all of the tomatoes that I'm gonna get out of here, and I topped all the plants. My friend Constance over at Good Life Farm, she told me the purpose of topping the plants was so that it'll stop focusing on growth, and the plant will start to focus on ripening the fruits that are already on the vine. So if you're getting up too close to your frost date and you want the plants, the tomatoes to actually ripen instead of getting a ridiculous amount of green tomatoes, top your plants and you'll get, it's not to say that every single one will ripen, but you'll get a lot more that will ripen. So let's go to the other part of the garden. I didn't realize that my camera had timed out, but this is what I ended up getting out of the garden. It's a huge haul. A lot of them are ripe, and the ones that are actually ripe, we're gonna go ahead and toss them in the freezer. And the ones that are not ripe, I'm just gonna set out, and then as they ripen, if they ripen before I get back, hopefully Robert will be able to toss them in the fridge or freezer, and otherwise we'll just do them when we get back. One thing that I forgot to mention earlier, one big thing that I have to do is actually bag up the 36, I think it was 36 chickens that Robert and I processed the other day. And so I need to go ahead and bag them up. So I'm just here getting these ready. So I figured to bring you along and share that part with you. And then after that, we will probably bag up and we will probably go through and process the tomatoes. And then around like 3 o'clock, I think, when Robert leaves for work, around like 3 o'clock or so when Robert leaves for work, and then later on, whenever Robert ends up leaving for work, I'll probably head to town, pick up the chicken feed, a couple things I might need for the trip. Probably this evening we'll come back and actually put all of the ferments to rest. So I got all that finished. It's almost 2:30, so I'm just gonna go ahead, wrap this stuff up real quick, bring it inside, and then we'll get ready to head to town. It's super late at night. We're finally ready to go ahead and put our ferments into more of a long-term stable condition. So I have 2 starters. I decided I'm gonna get rid of my 3rd starter because my 3rd sourdough, because I'm not doing sourdough for a while, and that's just a regular. It's a white flour starter. It's not a big deal. I'm keeping obviously the very long, the like 200 some odd year old sourdough starter that I was gifted, as well as it's half rye and half white flour, and you can see it is quite active. It got up to here, and this is where it was. So, and then we also have our water kefir that we're gonna go ahead. It hasn't really been super reactivated, but we're gonna go ahead and put it into storage. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so I need flour in order to get these ready for kind of me being able to leave these long term. We're just gonna do them all fairly normal, with the exception of the water kefir. This one we're gonna go ahead and just put in like a quart-sized jar and fill it up with some sugar water. and just put it in the fridge. But the sourdough starters, we're gonna do them just normal like we would have otherwise. We'll leave them out of the fridge for like an hour, and then we're just gonna pop them in the fridge, and they will last for easily for a week, but really it can go like 2 weeks. So sourdough starter number 1, we're gonna go ahead and take our scale, and we hit the tare button. And I'm just keeping these at about 100 grams. Super easy. That's kind of what I'm aiming for. I'm going for something that's easy to do, easy to keep. And right now I'm actually doing kind of more of a keto style way of eating. I kind of switched over to that after the sourdough September. So I'm gonna kind of keep these in the fridge for a little while until I'm ready to go ahead and pull them out and do something with them. So just so you know, that's what I'm doing. So I got both of the sourdough starters ready to go, and those ones are just gonna sit out on the counter for about an hour, and then we're gonna pop them in the fridge. And that's just to kind of let the bacteria and the yeast kind of go to town, and then once they start to going, then you're gonna put them in the fridge. Now we're getting started on the water kefir, and that's the last ferment that we really need to tend to today. And I've already put the sugar, I put 1/4 cup of sugar in this jar here, and we're just waiting for it, we're just stirring it up and letting it melt. Once it melts, we're gonna add our grains to it and just pop it in the fridge. Pretty simple stuff. You wanna make sure that the grains, you wanna make sure that the sugar is completely melted, otherwise it can harm the grains. I'm not sure why, but that's what I've been told by a lot of different sources say that you need to make sure that the sugar is completely melted. Could be urban myth, but better safe than sorry. We have our sugar water has dissolved. Sorry for the weird lighting and angle. I'm just kind of bringing it along for what I'm doing in the evening. I don't have time to really pre-plan all of this stuff. I'm just bringing it along, sharing with you what I'm doing. There we go. All right. Alrighty, so we got our lid. We're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna pop this one in the fridge, and I'm gonna bring you guys back tomorrow morning when we're ready to actually leave for HOA.
Hey, Anna!
You're here!
I'm coming to hug you. Look, guys, it's Anna from Fermented Homestead.
And it's Julie from Row & Co Farms. And your hubby.
She took the wrong road, so she's coming around.
Yeah, I took that road too because I had no idea where to go. Filming you, filming me.
Filming me.
Together at last.
Right?
It's been almost a year.
It has. It's been too long.
Yeah. I totally forgot to bring you guys back before when I was leaving for HOA, but I'm here. I made it safe and sound. I just met up with Julie and Constance, and we're ready to enjoy the weekend. Look at this view, you guys, seriously. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and just enjoy my time while I'm here. I'm going to be filming as much as possible, and then once I get back and settled in at home, I will start actually putting out the HOA video for you. So if you guys are new around here, we just moved to our 30-acre homestead in southern Missouri. That's where you saw me earlier in the video. And there's a lot of yellow jackets. Shut up. They're laughing at me. There's bees. Ugh, there's bees. But anyways, I'm bringing along, sharing with you all the things that we're doing to turn our home into a homestead, and most of that's in the kitchen with canning, freezing, dehydrating, and fermenting. I also like to share with you videos on how to use that preserved food in your everyday cooking. If that sounds awesome to you, click this button right here. This is the subscribe button. This one tells YouTube you want to come back here. Up here is a video that Mr. Google Pants thinks that you're going to enjoy. Over here is my last video, and then up here is going to be a playlist for you to check out for some awesome inspiration. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.